Don't go there trying to pay $5 when they normally get paid too.
Okay, here we go. Hello, I'm Pat.
And I'm Renita.
Welcome to God, Grace,
And
and
Ghana.
Ghana. We are still chronicling our journey from Houston, Texas to Accra, Ghana, and we want to speak to both our African American brothers and sisters and to the Ghanaians who are there. We can't wait to see and be part of your community. But there is something that very much concerns us, and
Yeah.
we want to give a warning to both groups of people about not doing this, especially us, the diaspora that's coming back home to discover their roots and their freedom. And this is the situation that we want to warn about, and that is, please, diaspora, please, expats, when you go back there to Ghana, please try to fit in to the culture and not go over there trying to Americanize Ghana, Americanize their society and their culture, because
It's not America.
that's what you are escaping. So why would you bring it there? So the part that we really want to focus on in this video is financially. Don't make a difference. Try to assimilate into the society, whatever their pay scale is, whatever their
Wages, whatever that is. What we don't want to do is get there and start giving them, paying them way more than they're normally getting, because what's going to happen is that the Ghanaians are going to start to dislike us, because a lot of them are not going to be able to afford to get things that they could normally afford, because now Americans have come over there and started throwing all this money, paying for stuff, and everything's going up. And now they're not able to get the things that they need.
for instance, let's say use the housing market. I'm gonna use the housing market here in Houston. Well, United States, just like Africa, is a big place, and we're down south in Houston, Texas. Down south is a lot cheaper than it is up north and to the west coast. Now, people move from the west coast, which is Los Angeles, and they move to Houston, Texas. The houses in Los Angeles is twice or more the price of the houses in Houston, Texas. When they come down here and they see a house they like, they don't even try to negotiate down or anything like that. They say, "Oh, well, this is a big, nice house. I'll buy it." And then splurge their money. And let's say the house is worth $300, but they don't mind paying $350 or $400. Well, what does that do? That makes the housing market say, "Hey, well, if people pay $400 for this house worth $300,000, let's go up on the $300,000 houses." Now the people down south can't afford the houses that they used to can afford, because the people in LA have come down south and drove the housing market prices up. We're saying don't go to Ghana and drive their prices up. Don't go and pay. Okay, if the average, for instance, and I'm sorry, Ghanaians, I'm speaking in USD because that's what I'm used to. I'm not down there yet. So, but the diaspora know what I'm talking about. If the average pay for something is $5 an hour, and you go down there and you say, and this is for not for all diaspora African Americans, because look, first of all, we are not all rich. We're not all able to afford. Again, a lot of us is fleeing the high prices in America. We're fleeing that because we can't afford it down here. Don't bring that situation to Ghana by you well-off Americans or people with a lot of money. Say, oh, you know what? I want to do the Ghanaians a solid, a favor. I want to be nice and pay them $10 an hour. Well, if you come down there and the average price is $5 an hour for a wage for a job, and you pay them $10 an hour, guess what's going to happen? The average wage is going to raise up from $5 an hour, which they are normally paid, is going to jump up somewhere in between, say, to $8 an hour. And Ghanaians who used to be able to afford that service is not going to be able to afford it anymore. African Americans who are not well off, which is a misnomer, which is a perception that's not true, is going to get down there, and they're not going to be able to afford the service. So now you got two groups of people who at first was able to afford a service. You have drove up the housing market prices. You have drove up the pay scale for day laborers, for maids, for guards, for whatever, by paying them double what they normally pay. And so now everyone has to pay the price of these wages going up. Basically, you're causing your own inflation. not only on you, but on the fellow Ghanaians.
Right.
So what happens? Let's go back to my illustration with housing. People here in Texas are starting to load people from California coming down here because we know when they come down here, all you're doing is driving our prices up. Don't do that to Ghanaians. Pay them the same thing that they've been used to. Keep the wages the same. Now, I know that you want to help the Ghanaian society. You're going down there to be part of, and I understand that, but you don't do it by paying double wages, by increasing all the prices of things. You do that by employing Ghanaians, creating jobs, investing into the economy, investing into the real estate market, investing in bringing your skills down there. If you're an engineer or whatever, and contributing to society that way. And if you want to, you can outright contribute to food baskets or make your own food pantry or clothing, whatever you want to do to help them. But you don't do it by increasing wages.
Making the cost of living go up. It's not good for anyone.
It's not good for anyone. And again, if you don't want the same thing to happen to you by the Ghanaians being upset that we're coming down there, you keep the prices and the wages the same, static, as it was before you came. Now, this is to the Ghanaians and to African Americans. One of the things that me and my wife did not like when we went to Ghana is some of the things we went to, they had two different prices. One for Ghanaians and one for diasporas or foreigners coming in. I'll give an example for the zoo. They had one price for the Ghanaians, but it was like 2 or 3 times higher for diaspora. Well, that's an example of what we mean. If the attitude is, oh, well, they can afford it and all of us can't, why wouldn't they charge you double or triple what they're charging the Ghanaian? As an African American or diaspora, you should demand equal and fair treatment. The same thing that the Ghanaians pay for something, you should want to pay. So therefore, you should demand that. Don't go there and say, well, I can afford it, even though it's worth $200,000, I'm going to pay. No, demand the $200,000. Why? Because if you don't, those African Americans and other Ghanaians who could have paid $200,000 for the same house now may be facing a situation in the future where the housing market go. Now, once something goes up, they don't go down.
No.
Once they say, oh, you know what, we might can get away with charging $300,000 for something, so that goes up. Ghanaians can't afford the house. Poor African Americans can't afford the house. All you did is make the situation worse on everybody. Everyone. Again, you caused your own inflation. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't have anything to say.
And I want to make sure I'm saying this clearly. We're not saying underpay Ghanaians. Let's say that the average maid going to, using dollars per hour, I'm sorry, again, Ghanaians, but I understand this. Let's say the average pay is $5 an hour for the Ghanaians. There's a range. The low end is $5 an hour, the top end is $8 an hour. The sport, if you can afford it, pay them the $8 an hour. Pay them the top end of what's normal maid pay. If the guard check normal pay is $10 an hour to $12 an hour, I'm just throwing numbers out there. $3 an hour to $5 an hour. Pay them if you can afford it on the top end. You don't pay them outside of the normal wage range. Now you're causing inflation. Because once people say, let's say, well, I'm used to getting paid $7. I demand to be paid $7. Everybody going to be demanding to be paid $7 even though it was $5. And then now everybody demanding to be paid $7. People that can only afford $5 can no longer hire certain positions. Because you come down there with a different wage from America that the Ghanaians
already have in place.
Different pay scale. And the Ghanaians already have one in place. I hope I'm making sense. And to you Ghanaians that's listening to this video, I hope it's clear to you. I'm not telling Americans that can't afford it to go out there and lowball you. What I am saying is everyone should want a fair wage, a fair pay scale, a fair this. And if we can't afford it, I am saying African American, pay them on the high side of the scale. Just don't pay them outside of the scale.
Mm-hmm. Because once you pay outside the scale, now you're going to cost jobs again, because people are not going to be able to pay for certain services anymore, because now you're asking for this over the top amount for service. So now you're going to be costing jobs.
I hope this video is making sense to all the people out there, you know, that we're talking to. Again, you just want to assimilate into society as it is, and go with the flow on both sides. Ghanaians, y'all shouldn't want to see African Americans come down there and try to overcharge your brothers and sisters that's actually trying to escape a high wage in America. And African Americans, you shouldn't want to go there and try to undercut Ghanaians, but at the same time, if you want to help them, if again you have the money. Now this is, you know, people again making a false assumption that all African Americans got a lot of money, and that is absolutely not true. But if you do have the type of money, yeah, pay them on the high end of the pay scale and invest into Ghana. That you can build it up. That's what you do if you want to help them.
Yeah.
Invest into, you know, hire people and create jobs. Do that.
That's all we got.
Okay. I know I was beating the dead horse there a little bit, but I really want to implore you that this is very important.
Yes.
You don't want to go over there and cause inflation to come to a place where you're trying to escape high inflation. We love you. I'm Pat.
And I'm Renita.
Bye.